Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the O.V.G.C podcast. I am your host, Soul Zane, and I have summoned the personas within me of SD Convoy and Willow.
Hi.
I think,
Boy.
what is it? You grab a card in front of you and you break it? I think that's how it goes. This is not the gun one. But
I thought that was great, though.
thanks, guys. It has been a excellent month. June has been really good. And this last quarterly was probably the one that I feel like really lit the server on fire for the most part. But
sure.
before we dive into that one, I do want to talk about June's game of the month, Katamari Damacy, or Damacy. What's the real pronunciation behind that?
The song sounds like Katamari Damacy.
I think
We both took Japanese, saying like I feel like that.
But there's a Y. It's a CY, and that's not an. That's
You're looking at the English version.
That's
sound.
true. I should see what the Japanese text looks like. Hot take, re-roll. Let's do it again.
Katamari Damacy. Yeah, that's it.
I think we got it. But yeah, I was glad this one got picked. I feel dumb that I didn't put it in the lineup last month when we were doing picks. So, let's. I want to hear what Matt has to say about it first, because I've played the heck out of it, and I know this is. You went back to it for our sakes, and you didn't like it before. Tell us what your thoughts were on going back to Katamari after all these years.
Keeping this podcast PG or
Whatever you want to do. It's not marked as PG
whatever
on
I want to
YouTube.
do.
Well, don't.
Oh, okay.
Certain
so then
things. There are some limits.
Then I guess I'll use more of the polite words. I gotta say, it's still as bat crap insane as the first time I played it. Back when I had like rented it from Blockbusters, I think for like the PS2. I think it was probably the first or the second one. And it's still very strange. My wife liked watching it. She would always say, "It's like, why aren't you playing that creepy game anymore?" Because she enjoyed just watching it.
Because
But-
you put it out of your soul.
No, it's because I got the Switch 2 and I finally started playing Pokemon. And
okay.
that took way more precedence. But no, like the game, I feel as an adult was a lot more enjoyable as a kid because I could understand what was going on. It was just make giant ball with everything around you. But as a kid coming from more of like Legend of Zelda and everything, I was like, this game is terrible. What is this?
Okay, I get
And it was
ya.
just really strange.
It's
Still that still transcended time, but
yeah. Well, it definitely throws you a curveball in its design, or a glue ball, I should say.
I can't. Sticky ball.
What did you think of the tank controls when you were a kid?
Like, I don't even remember playing it that much. I think the controls might have been something that I didn't like about. Like, as an adult, it didn't seem horrible. It seemed like they kind of like. I didn't like it in the menus. Like, I do like how they did try to keep, like, yeah, these are the controls. But when I tried like loading up my save file, it took me a second to figure out. It's like, why can't I load my save file? And you have to still play it as if you're playing in game to still select things.
Oh yeah, yeah. A little
I was
stylistic
like, that's-
menu.
Yeah, no, it's like they definitely had a lot of style in the game. That's for sure. It has its aesthetic.
Can you believe they don't get any better than this one?
I mean, why mess with perfection?
I don't know how you can. No, actually, I think We Love does a lot better job. But the tank controls question, I think, is actually really good because it's a unique style of tank control where to go forward, you push both joysticks forward and you rotate back and forth, with a left and right pull. Whereas in Resident Evil style tank controls, it's left and right is to turn, and then forward and back is to run forward or run backward. So when you say tank controls, I feel like it's a little different. Katamari controls are almost a little more accurate.
Talk about literal tank
had-
controls, like two levers.
Oh, sure.
I was just
okay.
gonna say, I had an RC car that you had two levers that were either forward back, or you could kind of do the spin around thing if you had one
okay.
forward, one back. So in my mind, it's like RC car kind of tank controls, not Resident
it.
Evil like rotate the character and then push forward to move them forward.
Okay, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
That makes more sense. I mean, to say, really, we could just call it RC controls versus tank controls, because not many RC cars are tanks, I suspect. But I get where that's coming from.
Yeah.
So, did you end up beating it, Matt? I can't remember.
No, I kind of got like to a couple levels and I was like, all right, kind of bored. I was like really into Balatro and then Pokemon, being able to finally play that.
You didn't get invested in the story of the children and their
No,
dad
that was just weird.
not being able to go to the moon because it was gone.
Yeah. Or like when you got like a new astrological sign and it's like, I can feel the cosmos. It has returned.
Right.
It's like, okay, small Japanese girl.
That's probably typical for all small Japanese girls, I think.
Yeah, that makes total sense. You gotta be one with the cosmos.
I mean, Katamari makes the most sense out of every game we've played so far.
I do like how the game started off with your dad just like destroying shit.
The story is really funny and interesting. I like how he also acts like a god and uses like the context of like the we do this and we are that and stuff, and which is kind of cool. Begs the question of, is the king of all cosmos actually a god, or is he just using the royal we? So I'm thinking it's the latter, that he's just royalty. But
He can make the cosmos, so
yeah.
I guess that's kind of godly.
Yes, I think. I don't think there's too much to really say about that stuff. I do think the writing's really fun and enjoyable. But Jeff, what did you think about going through Katamari? Was this your first time?
This was my first time playing. I had some friends that would like talk about this back in the day, but I didn't have a PlayStation 2, when I was younger. And so I actually already had Reroll before we made this the game of the month choice. And I thought I haven't played the original PS2 version, but it looked like they're pretty similar. Do you have experience with that, Zane?
The PS2 one and this one, the PS2 one does not look as nice. Otherwise,
right. Does it play? It plays just about the same.
Exactly the same, basically.
Okay.
Exactly the same. In fact, I think there were some things in Reroll that actually might have been harder because or different, because they ported the whole game into Unity to be able to make it for the Switch or for Reroll, and so it was kind of. I was noticing some things that I was like, I don't feel like this was O.G. Katamari physics, but it still felt the
close
same.
enough though. You feel like it's still a good representation, because
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's a short experience, obviously. But I guess for me it's so different because your objective is just make the ball big, you know. So for me, it was kind of like, I don't want to say lacking in content. I mean, the first one seems pretty short, but it was kind of like, oh, this is it? Like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yep.
I felt like there should have been, at least when I first started playing, I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
But after I kind of got the hold of it, oh, okay, so the point is, to me, it seemed like almost, and tell me if you don't agree with this, but kind of a high score chasing thing, like how big can I go in each level?
Yes.
That seems to be like the challenge, the gameplay loop, because I only really made it through the entire single player. I didn't like try to go back and min-max my score, but I feel like that's where your replay is going to be in this game. And obviously finding all the presents there. The controls were really different for me. I got on with it pretty quick, I guess. But even like on the last level, it's kind of like you never have exactly enough control that you want. And I guess that's probably part of the game, is controlling this huge ball as best as you can.
Yep.
So that's part of the challenge of it, I guess. Um, it is kind of frustrating at first, but then once you kind of get on the roll, I had to replay a few of the levels a few times to get the Katamari big enough. And once I finally kind of got the hang of it, I was like, okay, I see the appeal here. I see the appeal. It is off the wall crazy, like WTF at the whole concept. But I'm kind of into that kind of craziness and randomness. Like that doesn't bug me too much. So it was a really enjoyable experience.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it for sure. Going back through it was good for me. I've played the original Katamari quite a bit. I've beaten every Katamari game. I've 100%ed
Okay.
every one of them. They're like a huge, I don't know, a huge part of my gaming, so, fun free time, uh, playing this one, there's a lot of things I wish it had. There's a ball jump mechanic in later ones where you can make the Katamari bounce.
I was wanting that a lot of times.
Yeah. There were some
Jumping
times.
was even 4.
Was it in 4?
Well, I said I was wondering what the jumping was even for, because they even did it here. It looks like it's more of just to see what's around you.
Yeah, yeah, that's what that is for sure. In Reroll though, if y'all played Reroll and you didn't play the original one, they gave you all the cousins, basically all the cousins right away in the beginning of the game, so that way you could do the 2-player stuff, which I didn't even try. But in the original, if you replayed a stage, a cousin would be hidden in the stage then, and you would have to go find them. So that was your replayability in the original one. They didn't have that.
Okay.
They still had that in this one. You could still go back, and now the cousins would be there. But there wasn't any, like, when you finish the stage, if you got a cousin that already was unlocked, you don't get the, like, he appears on the hand, and then the King of All Cosmos says, like, a little thing about him, and then that's it. That's the end of the thing. So that
What's kind of good about
wasn't
this like
canon.
mechanic though, is just
The roll-up mechanic.
yeah, that's kind of what's nice about this game is that even without extra bits, like in my opinion, like having those cousins and everything, it still has replay value just because it's so basic.
Yeah. Oh,
These are like
that's
one of
a
those
good way
games
to
you
put
can just
it.
pick up and play.
Yeah, and they don't really make it overly complicated either. I feel like they have the opportunity to do that. If you look at the stages where you pick up a single cow or you pick up a single bear, those stages are hard if you're actually trying to get the biggest star or the biggest bear or the stuff like that out of those. And those stages make a return in later Katamari games. Those 2 specific stages, or like redux versions of them, and they actually require you to get a star that's actually so big. So you have to path everything out in those stages. And when you start playing those stages where you're learning how to path everything, the way Katamari plays changes for you. And you can see as you go through the stages, the pathing that gets laid out. You can say, oh, I've got 6 of these, and once I finish this lineup, boom, I can hit the playing cards right next to it. And then, oh, I can hit this.
See.
And then as soon as you hit the next size up, when you hit like 3 meters, go to that 3 meters zone immediately, because there's another lineup of follow through to go through to get really big really fast. So once you figure that out, that's that kind of changes how you play Katamari every time, and then you can get really good at getting big really fast whenever you need to. But in later Katamari games, if you get too big too fast, you can miss presents and cousins and stuff. So you have to kind of be careful, like explore at your different size if you want to explore, and you can even miss like rare drops, like rare pickups, and stuff like that too. So it's just fun to, if you wanted to get more out of it, that's how you get more out of it, besides replay of just go through a stage again and pick up a cousin. There's also different things that appear at different heights, or so, which is cool. So
The music is amazing in this game.
thank you for bringing that up. I almost forgot. I'm glad you think so.
We can't move on before we talk about the music.
To music, both games this time have bangers, like constant banger tracks. And Katamari is amazing. I love Katamari. There's a couple songs that kind of get a little annoying, but otherwise they're all awesome. Even just hearing the main theme play over and over again on the last stage is good.
I had to watch the intro video like every time I turned this thing on.
It gets you pumped.
I'll have to roll a ball.
Did you listen to a bunch of the music, Matt?
Yeah, like just outside of what was already playing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't bad. It reminded me a lot of that typical kind of thing like Jet Set Radio did.
Okay.
Just that kind of DJ scratched up music. Because I don't know how to describe it, but it had the similar like essence. So I liked it because of that. Because I like all the Jet Set Radio stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of reminded me of that.
Well, you should go back.
I'm actually getting pretty distracted just watching the video.
It's kind of
I'm
hard
like, wow,
to
look
look
at all
away.
the stuff he's getting.
When you play that final stage, if you go back and finish it, Matt, and you play that final stage, when you're just going through the ocean and picking shit up to make the moon, you're just like, how much bigger can I get? And
It's like the good thing about the replayability about it. It's just like, yeah, like look at all the shit I'm picking up.
yeah, and he's not even at the biggest size he can be. He's got like another 200 meters plus to go.
Yeah, and he has 7 minutes, so he better hurry.
Yeah, he's got lots of time. But this guy is not doing a great job of pathing though.
Once you start picking up the buildings, it's like, all right, here we go.
Game on, yeah.
I like picking up the people and then just like screaming. And it's like, no, you are part of something now.
Yeah. Several markers when you're growing to note is when you can start picking up people, pick up people as soon as possible. As soon as you can pick up cars, pick up as many cars as you can or anything car sized. And then you'll be able to pick up trees, and you can roll up a ton of trees all at once, and then you'll hit buildings right away, and then you can just finish off really fast as soon as you get to that point. So those are like key things I always remember whenever I'm going through the big stages. And the game's still messing with you with the spinny cranes, and it's still like, even though you have like free roam here, the game does still try and like give you ways to lose your Katamari momentum, so
Did it actually punish you? Because like there was times you could see things falling off, but I don't think the actual size went down.
yeah, I think reroll had a problem with that, because in the original game the objects if I remember right, the objects would be gone, they would disappear, but in reroll they respawned on the map, and I was curious if that was new or not. You do lose presents and cousins if you get bopped. Thank you, almonds. But you have to pick them back up. So I do know your size does drop, like it does drop, but I thought the item that dropped was gone forever, like it despawned, except if you didn't pick it back up, or it would remain. I know in other Katamari games, the items that you lose remain in the spots they fell out at, so you have a chance to pick them back up. But in this one, they would just despawn and then respawn where they were supposed to be, which was really strange. So now he's getting islands. Now the next thing he's got to do is find as many islands as he can, because they have the biggest mass. So,
Looks like they're just trying to grab stuff. Like it's just like, all right now.
yeah. So yeah, that's Katamari. You guys have anything else to say about it? Before we switch over.
Really weird, really fun,
insane.
out of 10.
There you go.
Oh, I like that. Really weird, really fun out of 10. You know what else is a fun out of 10?
Oh boy.
Persona 4. I give it a 4 out of 4. I played this. I played through Golden a long time ago. This is somebody's replay through it, so they've got character outfits and stuff, which is cool. Probably one of the greatest RPGs ever to get made out of the Shin Megami Tensei universe. Now, if you have played other SMT games, it does the Persona series actually does dumb down the difficulty from the SMT series stuff. So it's actually a lot easier, and it's a better barrier to entry for people who are new to the SMT series. If you really, really like Persona 4, absolutely highly recommend Persona 3 and Persona 5. They play very similarly. They're super similar in story design and how stuff flows really well. You wouldn't feel disappointed by playing any of those games, especially after this one. And there's no reason to pick one over the other. Just play both at the same time, guys. Come on. And if you like those, and you really want to continue the SMT universe stuff, SMT5 is awesome and is a great game to jump into the real Shin Megami Tensei stuff. And it's good and it's challenging in a way that keeps that barrier to entry from being too high for anybody who wants to jump into Shin Megami Tensei. So I did not replay the game. I played through it twice already, just a few years ago, and I'm kind of glad I didn't replay it with the announcement of the Persona 4 remake coming out. So I'm really stoked about that. But I did end up watching a bunch of the animes and stuff just to kind of give myself some refreshers on it a little bit. Absolutely full spoilers here because I'm hoping that everybody's played through it. Want to ask you, Matt, did you go through it at all or no?
No, I have it on the Vita, and I played for a little bit then, and then I did buy what is it, whatever they call the the remastered version of it,
Okay.
Golden something, and I was like, I'm gonna play it on the Steam Deck, and my wife was even like, "You're not playing the quarterly game." I'm like, "Yeah, Balatro."
Well,
So Persona's always just been okay for me. Like, it's not a bad game by any presence of that. It's more of it is I feel like it's like a full-time commitment type of game, especially how like these school ones where it's like, oh, you have to do things during school, you have to do well in school, you have to do well with your friends, you have to do well with everything else, and you also have to beat the game at the same time.
okay.
I always thought that was kind of like just a lot to do. It is your typical Japanese RPG. It's like, oh, here is every single thing all at once. Godspeed, you're gonna like it, or you're not.
Yeah.
Too bad.
I think my total play time was 120 hours.
You
And
had that.
that was with the replay.
With the New Game Plus.
Yeah, with the New Game Plus and doing the golden dungeon at the end with Marie and all that stuff. Did you do that, Jeff? Did you go through that dungeon?
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you did or not.
That was hard as crap.
Yeah.
At least in the beginning of it until you started getting the SP restoring gear.
Okay, yeah. So this is your first foray into Persona and SMT, right? Completely?
For me? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I've watched you play a couple of the PS2. Was that Digital
Devil Saga.
Saga? I'd watched you play through a good amount of those ones. But yeah, this was my first playthrough of a SMT game.
I'm really glad you picked it up.
It was good. I'm not usually a super long JRPG kind of guy, but I think the fact that it was so I played it on easy mode just because I'm not usually an RPG guy, and I wanted to focus more on the story and like the character interactions and that. I kind of liked how when I played it, I was going through each dungeon section in like the single day. And so I'd have like just ton of time to do all the social links, all the stats for your own character, like the intelligence and the bravery or whatever the social stats are. So it kind of was, for me, I kind of enjoyed that there was kind of the two different games. I had like kind of the dungeon crawly random battles RPG aspect of it that I can play through, enjoy. And then once I kind of beat that, then it was kind of like hit pause on that. Now it's kind of a social sim game, kind of play through that as much. So for me, having the ability to kind of bounce between the two play styles was actually a plus.
It's like playing two different games almost.
Almost, yeah, because you've got the TV world sections of the game, and then you've got the real world sections. So, and I know it all kind of links together. If you have your higher social links, now you can get higher level personas and get your bonuses there. Mm-hmm. And that'll increase the other character's stats in battle. But yes, but like it kind of felt like two different kind of games for me, like visual novel plus RPG almost. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which I dug. I played it on the Vita. So it was nice to have it on something portable to pick up and play. I think I played through a bit of this on a couple road trips. I played it, sitting on the couch. My wife was watching the TV, so so I actually enjoyed playing it on the Vita, and I did fire up the Steam version because I do have that as well. And it was almost jarring how sharp everything is when you're like running it at 4K, 60 frames a second. You can kind of tell,
Pixels.
oh, this is a PS2 game.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, this is definitely a PS2 game when you can see the low res textures and the kind of low poly models. But honestly, on the small Vita screen, with all of the flashy interface, very stylish interface for an RPG right up front, I didn't mind the graphics being a little bit, PS2-ish.
Mm-hmm. That's
and we talked about music in the last game. You can't deny that the music on this one's pretty good.
I mean, it's just almost every song is a hit. I feel like there isn't one I haven't listened to multiple times. I pick one out almost every day to listen to. It's just so, they're just so good. Whenever I'm going to work, I just slam on a video game soundtrack, and Persona's usually one of the first ones that's in my recommended, and I just pop it on, and your affection, your affection.
Nerd, sorry.
Yeah. Bring it. Did you listen to any of the music, Matt, at all?
I've heard some of the. I know that Persona invented jazz. Don't you know that?
It did. Yeah. Persona Jazz. We call it PJ for short.
I did. Now that I've played a little bit of Persona 5, I will say that like the dungeons are a little bit flat feeling and like a little bit less. They're a little bit more boring than like Persona 5's dungeon design.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, okay, everything's just a flat grid for each floor, and you go up to the next level. And I know that they did kind of the same thing in Persona 5, but there was a lot more verticality. You had the stealth aspect of things. This was kind of more like run down the hallways. So,
yeah.
But I loved the characters, loved the dialogue, loved the story on this one. And I think that's one of the compelling reasons that I kept playing it is because, what happens? How do these characters interact? How does the story progress? Who's the killer?
Yeah, I want to get to that.
So I think the story and the characters really pushed forward. Even though I'm not typically a turn-based JRPG guy, when the story's that good and the music's that good and the presentation's that good, you keep playing it. And I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. Overall sounds like top to bottom, you had a really good experience with it.
Oh yeah, totally.
I liked how, so coming from Persona 3 to this one, the dungeons were actually like a really nice redesign. Persona 3's dungeons are actually a little more stale looking and actually a lot flatter than this. And Persona 3's dungeons are random. These ones are not. These are all laid out. Combat wise in Persona 3, if you play the original and Fez, you only control the main character. And you control the whole party in this one, right? I believe
you can.
You can,
I
or
did
you can
have
choose
them on.
not to. Yeah.
I played some of the game through my playthrough with them, kind of on auto.
Okay.
Which, when you're on easy, I'm sure is a little bit easier.
Yeah, probably. But that's what that's why you use you look at the stats of the enemy, so that way the NPC knows what to do for you, whatever. But you still like pick and choose their abilities. You do that in Persona 3 as well. That's a regular feature from Persona 1 and 2 that they tried to continue to maintain. But I think when they realized people want control of their party, I just micromanaged my whole party in P4. I preferred that over letting the NPC do it. Getting if you gets KO'd, that's the end of the fight still, right?
I didn't like that.
Okay.
I did not like that. Party leader gets KO'd, the whole thing's done. It's like, they've got revives.
Yeah.
Revive him.
Yeah. Yeah, Persona 3 did that, and that drew me off of Persona 3
5
when I
does that
first
too,
started
doesn't
playing
it?
5 does not, I believe.
It
5
did.
gets rid of that, I think. I don't know. If it did, I don't remember. Whoops. I thought
Season
they
says
got
it
rid
still
of it.
does.
It still does? Okay. 5 still does it too. All right. So yeah, if Joker goes down, you're done. All right. So that's a regular feature too. So, but you know, your main character is pretty strong most of the time. Thank you for everybody for jumping in on that because I wasn't sure.
Thank you for fact checking us.
Yeah, well, it's important. I gotta get fact checked.
I was told there'd be no fact checking.
Where was I going? Persona. So story wise, Persona 4. At what point did you figure out who the killer was? You'll have to tell me. When did you figure out that it was Adachi?
Spoilers.
I don't care, man.
Once
You
they
ruined it for yourself.
I kind of was suspect of him like earlier on, but like once I knew that it wasn't who was the guy before that?
Was it
the creepy
Taka or
dude.
Naka something? I don't remember.
Yeah, once I knew that wasn't it, and it's like, oh, who could the actual killer be? It was like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing was
Namatame.
when the note was delivered to the house. I'm like, who would know?
Yes.
And then it's like, I started suspecting right there.
I totally didn't get it until the game was giving me these weird outs with Namatame, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what's really going on? Because the way Namatame was speaking when you confront him in the hospital, made it sound like he wasn't aware of what you guys, he wasn't like talking to you guys in a way, and it was interesting. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, is this still going? What's happening? And then when you get the choice to make the decision of who it is, and I'm going through the list and I'm reading all the names and I'm putting it in my head, and then Adachi's name shows up and I go,
Oh,
it's like, no. I was like, oh my god. And then I click his name, and then the game's like, he was there for everything and all this stuff. And he's the one who knows where you live, and he's got free access to all this stuff. And I was like, dear God, I can't believe I didn't realize it. And then when you confront him and his demeanor changes, and I was like, oh my God. It was like, wow. I was still kind of like really shocked. I mean, he was the one who committed the first 2 murders, and then just kind of let Namatame take credit for the other ones, I believe, or do the other ones essentially. But with Nanako getting killed, that was intense.
I could hardly handle that.
That was like, I was literally, when I was playing the game in the hospital after my wife had just had our second baby, and I was like, is this really happening? I was like, just had another daughter. And
I kind of suspected. I knew there was no way that they were gonna let her like actually be dead. I'm like, there's no way.
I mean, yes, if you want to like be like, oh yeah, it won't do it. But if you pick a bad ending, Nanako actually is dead. Like, she doesn't survive.
Really?
Yes. There's like 13 bad endings, and you can actually become Adachi's ally in one of them. And there's actually a small cutscene of Adachi smiling as your train leaves town while everything's left in fog. If you get a bad ending, the whole world stays in fog. You can still save Nanako, and then everybody can be satisfied, but the whole world is still covered in fog. And Teddy's like, the only thing wrong is that Teddy's world isn't been saved from Adachi. Okay. Basically. And at the end, he's like, it's a lot scarier back home, but it's where I live, and it's what it has to be. He's like, so it's actually kind of like, when you get that ending and it's a bad ending, you're just like, what did I do wrong? you know, so, but the game does give you like some outs too to kind of figure it out. So, that does kind of like go back 1 week, and so you can kind of pick again.
Okay.
So, but yeah, if you, I, you can max out Adachi's social link too, I believe, right, and create a bond with him. Oh man.
You can do his social link. Yeah, I think if you do the we were talking about the accomplice ending, you'll get to the
You get
you'll max out.
Adachi's maxed out social link if you become his accomplice. But I think you can become maxed out regardless. I just can't remember how.
Okay.
Because you face him in the end, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll become, true, rivals or whatever it is." I can't remember that. But how did you like the Marie stuff? Jumping into that, because even though Golden is not part of Persona 4, which is actually the game of the month, Persona 4 Golden adds the DLC to it, and we can quickly kind of step on that really fast since I know everybody played Golden. So what did you feel like with Marie? I felt like it was shoehorned in, and I didn't really care for it. I hate her character. Can't stand that tsundere shit.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying, like to me at least. Like I could see why some people would be like, "Oh, like she's a good, bad, whatever character." For me, it did kind of seem like there was this whole story, and then also her.
Yep.
But then they made her kind of like at the very, very end, really important, like lore wise. Or at least it seemed like that to me. I didn't hate it, but I can see why some people would complain that it was kind of shoehorned in, because it did kind of feel a little bit not out of place, but separate from what else is going on.
Yeah. Persona 5 Royal does the exact same thing with its extra stuff, and I hated what Royal did. I think it ruined the story, actually. Which is why I kept saying before, people don't play Royal if you like Persona 5. If you want to like Persona 5, don't play Royal, because I feel like Royal ruins it with the DLC stuff. Or the extra and the continuation stuff. Play original Persona 5 and then play Royal if you want to. Anyways, I digress. You can like Royal all you want, Das Brat. It's still wrong.
It did kind of feel I think having her dungeon be right at the end, kind of, and then having the last day final dungeon kind of felt like, when is this story going to end? Because like once you kind of catch Adachi and like he's the, you get the big eyeball monster, you win that, it's like, all right, cool, we good.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, oh, just kidding, we have another dungeon to go through, and actually the whole time it was this, it wasn't what you thought. It's like, oh, okay, so I guess the story ends in a little bit of a different way. And then I did the real ending on the last day, where you go to the gas station attendant, and it's like, oh no, actually this is what happened all along. It was kind of like, when are we gonna end the story, guys? And actually, if you do a new game plus, and then after you do the gas station attendant, you go back and talk to, this character, then actually he was behind the whole thing.
Right.
I felt like it was a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just heavy Japanese RPGs, though.
But the thing is it wasn't like that until after the game got re-released as Golden. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that originally. So, yes.
I'll just take your word for it.
Yeah.
For like lore / like gameplay purposes, is like gas station attendant guy like that important?
Well, he's God.
Right.
So
are you supposed to play through that like every time you play through it, or is it supposed to be kind of like hidden bonus content? I guess was more like, is that the ending of the game?
I feel like it's just made me, I looked at it as just more content to play, and I'm like, all right, I'm over leveled, I'm enjoying it. It made me feel like there was more challenge to it, and I had fun. So
yeah.
So not a big deal. But yeah, Persona 4, man, great game. Love it. I'm ready to move on to our classic games for
Yeah,
our
let's do
monthly
it.
choices. Let's see. Classic games. First on the docket.
Man, how many times are we gonna go over this?
How many times? Perhaps this is the last time. We shall see. If it is not, I'm going to laugh so hard.
What else we got?
We also have Pikmin 2, which I
There we go.
vindictively suggested. First
Oh
time
man, what if
on
two
the
we get
list.
2 instead of 1?
You get to swap between the two characters in 2, right?
Yes. So you have to micromanage Louis and Olimar. I guess not micromanage because he doesn't move on his own.
Okay.
But this one introduces the rock Pikmin, I believe, or the heavy Pikmin. It introduces the fat Pikmin and the white Pikmin, the ones that
Okay.
can handle poison. And every purple Pikmin acts like 10 regular Pikmin. And in this one, the objective isn't to repair your ship; it's to acquire as many rare items as you can to make money for your boss. That's what it is. So
Such a pretty game on the GameCube.
it looks so good.
This is the Switch one though.
This is the Switch.
Oh, is
remake,
it?
yeah.
Oh,
but
my
that's,
bad.
It's still very pretty for a GameCube game. I had a hard time finding stuff that wasn't the Switch version for some reason. For a
That
lot of
happens
these,
after
for a
there's
lot
a
of these
re-release.
remakes of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Pikmin 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder than the first one, and like 3 times longer. Once again on the list, Castlvania Aria of Sorrow. The more we keep talking about it, the more I kind of want to play through it again.
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually would be really. What I'd like to do is play the sequel on the DS. That one I would like to do. I can't remember what that one was called.
Maybe you should put that in
Dawn
the
of Sorrow.
millennial thing.
I could. It's on the
Millennium?
DS. Put it on the new Millennium. Would be a good option. But this game I've never played.
I love this game. I beat
And-
this game.
Starfox Assault.
Yes, you suggested this one. Tell us about it really quick.
It was just fun. So it was like a combination of typical kind of Star Fox and then like a battle on the field type thing. You'll switch between that. I thought it was just pretty neat. And I was
Okay.
like, wow, I haven't played this game for a while.
Okay, cool. I'm down.
Kind of like the sequel to whatever that other Star Fox one was. I forgot the name of it. The first GameCube one.
Star Fox.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 64.
Dinosaur Planet.
Yeah, it's a pretty much like a sequel to that.
Oh yeah, that's correct. Because Crystal's in
okay.
it. That's right.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I've always been interested in Assault. I just never picked it up. I always thought it was just a multiplayer game. I didn't know that it was a single player campaign too.
Multiplayer is fun.
Yeah, that's all I remember it being. But yeah, cool. I'm excited. That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
If we don't get Pikmin. And then back in the backlogs from a suggestion is Klonoa. Really expensive PS1 game.
Darn it.
Let's call this like Klonda. Like,
Klonda?
because it looks like Klondike.
Yeah, Klondike
Like the ice
bar.
cream, so it's Klonda.
Klonda. The game, Klonda, where you play as a living Klondike bar. Or a furry, whichever one you strikes your fantasy.
Why not both?
It really looks like Tamba to me. I know it's the same game design and stuff like that, but I'm curious if it's takes a bit of a. Tamba is not Namco though.
I was gonna say this is Namco, isn't it?
Yes, I can't remember. Your Persona.
Be great if another Namco game gets picked.
That'd be cool. All right. So let's
Oh,
see. The Wheel of Names. Here we are, everybody. Are you guys ready?
Spin it.
Yes. All right. Here we go.
Look at all that Pikmin.
Look at
Look at all
yeah.
the Pikmin.
Pikmin 1, Castlevania, Pikmin 2, Pikmin 1, Starfox Assault, Pikmin 1. Okay. I don't know. I want to close my eyes for this one almost, but I
Spin
can't.
the wheel.
Go,
Spin
go,
the
I really-
go.
Like,
go.
I wouldn't mind playing
There it
Pikmin.
is. There
Wow.
it is. There it is.
No!
It's Castlevania.
Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow.
Oh, Pikmin survives another day.
It's back. Oh
This
man.
This is a good pick, though. This is a good pick.
That's a good pick.
It's like how it was literally the same result as last time, just a little bit, like, a little bit more of a distance from the edge of Pikmin.
We all got punked. Lance wins.
So this one, the aria is in a collection.
Yes.
Of Sorrow.
The Castlvania
Advanced Collection.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay. Is that what it's called?
$20 on like the online stores. But it goes on sale.
Use my
every now and
pocket
then.
again.
All right. Cool. I might.
The actual cart's kind of pricey.
Yeah, but I might buy this one just because I kind of.
I've got the 2-pack or like the double one on the Game Boy Advance, so that's how I'll be playing it.
Ooh, did it have? What was it? The other one, Curse of the Moon, that came with it.
It had Harmony of Dissonance as well.
Oh, Harmony of Dissonance. Oh, sick. Cool, guys.
Pretty
Cool.
pricey.
All right.
Yeah, I'm happy about this one.
I'm down. Let's do this. So quarterly games. There's a big list of the quarterly ones. Honestly, every single one of these on this list, I'm stoked for this next quarterly. Pokemon. This is our first Pokemon suggestion, I believe. Right?
I did
Ruby.
Dungeons.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mystery Dungeons. That doesn't count. Pokemon, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. So I will say right out the gate, the Emerald is different than Ruby and Sapphire. It is different. However, fundamentally, it is the same as the other ones. So
Kind of like the yellow type thing.
yeah, Yellow is
There's
also
always the
a
third one.
different game though, and Platinum kind of follows the same way. But for Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald is the definitive version, in my opinion, story wise. But feel free to play all three. You got 3 months to do it. Boom, 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 baby.
I'm hoping, like, I had a friend that was still working at like GameStop, and I was really hoping that she would be able to, like, because it's always been my dream to like find these cartridges at like a garage sale, and that's what kind of like sucks about like collecting these retro games now is now everyone wants you to, like, even if you go to a garage sale, it's like, yeah, I want $300 for this game. It's like, I'll give $300 to a store that if this is broken, I get my money back.
Yeah, for real. Just going to a fucking garage sale. Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna pay you price for a game. And that's like what I've been hoping with GameStop is like some granny will come in selling like her son's Game Boy collection in the attic, and then Emerald is in there, and I can buy Emerald for like $60 instead of like the 300 it goes for.
Good luck.
Right?
Yeah, basically.
And that's why it kind of sucks to play these games on the pocket because of that time feature.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
So you have to turn it off to actually make it work.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because you do need to play in the dark or at day or at night, in order to get certain Pokemon. If you wanted to 100% it, which it's not necessary. But hey, Pokedex completion, baby.
Dude, I couldn't complete
also,
the Pokedex on the original, so
they introduced forts in this one. That's another thing that's a cool function to have for it. So Golden Sun, a game that is also functional. Is this the second time we've had Golden Sun on the list?
you have a cat coming, by the way, Zane.
Yeah,
We
he's just
might
jumping.
have had it on one of the quarterly game suggestions. It didn't get picked, obviously, but
Right. That's okay. Golden Sun's a great game. Good 2-parter. It's a 2-part game. I would definitely say that Golden Sun 1 and Golden Sun 2 is just the continuation of part 1, and you should just play both. Because that's basically what they are. There's just like a little bit of time difference between the two. So
not a
Person doing
huge
this
time skip,
playthrough.
though.
what's that?
The person doing this playthrough is like playing it on like an iPhone or a smartphone, which I
Yeah.
feel is like the worst way to play any of these games.
This is exactly
Indeed.
how all of you
Indeed.
guys are gonna play it. No.
No real-time clock on this, so you can play it on any emulation device and it'll be fine.
Yes. Unlike Pokemon.
Ooh.
Golden Sun's not too expensive to pick up, is it?
It's like $30.
Oh, crap.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like that's just, you see it all the time.
yeah. I don't feel like there's a reason to not play this on OG console hardware just because there isn't really a reason to save state on this one. Just you don't need to.
I mean, who here doesn't have a Pocket or like a Steam Deck already?
I'm sure
some
a couple
emulation
of
device.
us- yes, exactly. Next is my pick, Legend of Dragoon. The only reason I chose this is because I hear about it as a super popular niche PS1 game that people are like, "Oh, have you played Legend of Dragoon?" And I'm like, "Why? Why do I have to have played Legend of Dragoon?"
It's also a really delicious cream cheese filled Japanese snack. Well, not Chinese snack.
I love deep fried dragoons.
The Legend of Rangoon. And now I'd play that game.
Play that once a week.
A little bit of plum sauce. We're good.
The one key
That's the
feature.
DLC.
So the one thing in this game is you have abilities or attacks. Your attacks that you do are all based on a action time battle system, very much like Paper Mario, where you attack at the right moment in order to trigger the next hit.
Like those.
And that's
So timed hits.
yeah, timed hits in this game. So
Cool.
yeah, Legend of Dragoon. It's a 3-disc PS1 game. So very popular. Speaking of something else that's even more popular, though, The Legend of Zelda,
Snap.
the Minish Cap.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a fun story about this.
Ooh, let's hear it.
So when this game first came out, I went to GameStop to buy it, and I don't know if a lot of people know that GameStop employees can borrow the games that are there.
Oh.
I did not know that.
It was
Yeah,
not
so
a new sealed box, was it?
GameStop just doesn't do that unless you buy it on like launch day. Like they still to this day will open up things just to open them, and they only had one copy left. And me being like the 10-year-old kid I was, and I had all the money for it, it's like, yeah, I guess I'll just have to get it. And then I go ahead. It's obviously not sealed. I put the game into my Game Boy Advance, and I turn on, and then there's a fucking save file on it.
That's
So I go back, and they're like, "Well, what do you want to
sold
do?"
it as new, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They're like, "Well, what do you want? You can
Oh.
return it." And I was like, "No, I want to play it." It's like this is just bullshit.
Wow. Yeah, give it to me for a reduced price. You've ruined
Yeah, they
my
didn't.
experience.
But that was it. That was my fun Minish Cap story. Great game though.
Oh, well, that wasn't a very fun story.
Agreed.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
I love the game.
Honestly, one of the best Zeldas out there is Minish Cap, in my opinion. It's huge.
Good job, Capcom.
It's a huge game. Yeah, Capcom. I loved it when Capcom did Zeldas. Like, I wish Nintendo would let others take the reins of doing more Zeldas, like actual Zeldas, not these little side things like Triforce
Dynasty
Heroes.
Warriors.
Yeah,
I hate Triforce Heroes so much.
I don't want to see. I don't want. Those.
But it's a part of the story.
But this is already good. So.
Only if Dynasty Warriors was good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Man, hot take.
I love how they kind of captured the Wind Waker art style in like 2D pixel art for this one.
Yeah, it looks good. It was the right call, honestly, to go with Big Head Link. You know, so and
Four Swords is also great.
yeah, the movement's good in this game, like really good too. I think this guy is like, I thought he was like glitching or some shit. That's the way he was
Trying
dropping.
to blow up the poor Coco lady.
Yeah. Speaking of poor Coco ladies,
Nice try. Nice try.
Dragon Warrior Monsters. I'm interested in this one just because I have the second Monsters game, and this is their like jump into Pokemon but for Dragon Quest.
I wanted to get the new one that they have, and I always like have it on my Steam watch list to see it go on sale, but they are stingy.
What is it called? What's the new one called?
It just came out for the Switch, didn't it?
I have no clue.
Was it a Monsters game?
Yeah.
The Dark Prince?
Okay.
Oh, I guess maybe it's not. Yeah, like the Dark Prince one. I thought it was like, yeah, Dragon Quest Monsters.
Steam Summer
I guess
Sale
it's
started
before
today.
it turned to
Oh,
Warriors.
it's tonight, I think.
Yeah.
So it's today. It's already happening.
Yeah, it's already
Yeah.
happening. I already bought stuff while I was at
spend
work
your
today.
money.
Boop, boop. I don't know. The summer sales have never been like super spectacular lately anymore, or not as fun as they used to be. But now I
miss
just
the
look
cat
at
girl.
them. Now I just look at them and I'm like, oh yay, sales.
If I can get one or two games out of it, I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah. Same here. Something. I'm just like, oh, I could pay $4 for that. You know. I don't. I think so. In this game, you collect monsters somehow. I think you become friends with them. I don't really know how it works. But you can raise them, change them, breed them, and the core mechanic to getting better monsters is to breed them. not level them up. There's no evolution Pokemon mechanic. It's just breeding slimes. Or slimes. Not just slimes. Sorry.
You create your best slime by making
Dragon
them
monster
breed.
slime.
Yeah, Dragon Monster slime. But otherwise, it looks good.
Dragon warrior monster slime.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of slimes, Xenogears is not slimy at all. Classic hardcore PS1 RPG and that is lauded over like big time. People talk about Xenogears. Anybody who's played through it has loved it, I guess. And people talk about Xenogears still as like one of the best RPGs on the PS1. You can actually jump in the game, even though it's RPG like walking around thing. You can still physically jump in it. The combat system is like you pay for your abilities in the combat system. So like you can do like say you have like 10 points and you have two attacks that do have an attack that does costs 2 points and another attack that costs 3 points and another attack that costs 5 points. You could do 2 5-point hits attacks, or you can do 2, 4, 6, 8, or whatever, 5 2-point attacks while you fight monsters and enemies and stuff like that.
Can they do that in some Tales games too?
No.
I think in the new one, it's kind of like that. Like how many hits that you can do and everything.
I don't remember. I just played through the new one last year, and I don't even remember. It seemed like a normal Tales game to me, where you hit combos and you just follow up different combos, because everything has like a skill bar, right? It
has like a lot because they changed everything for it.
That kind of makes sense. So yeah, you have like an allocated skill number that you can use, and each a move is like triangle, circle, or square, and you have to hit those in order to do it. I wonder if I can skip ahead to combat here, right there. So here's combat.
Ouch.
Now there is mecha fighting stuff later on that you can do too. So you can you get to fight in mechs too and stuff. I have not got that far when I was playing it. I just played the intro beginning of the game. I would be really
like the animation.
To play through this. Yeah, it's really cool. Like it makes the combat be like, oh, it's still active. It's very Legends of Mana style. For the movement.
Man, that guy takes a bomb to the face really well.
Yeah, he also uses his head to headbutt, so I think he can handle it.
No one wins in a headbutt.
Nobody wins in a headbutt. But speaking of nobody winning, Suikoden. If you haven't played Suikoden, it is based on a Taoist story about the 108 Stars of Destiny. This game has you recruit 108 characters to get the best ending in the game. Now there is like a time limit thing in the first game that like you can lose some characters like at the end if you don't complete the end of the game fast enough, which is bogus. But the HD remake gets rid of that for you. You have the option to play with it or without it, and I would just recommend playing without it because when I first played through Suikoden, I didn't get there fast enough. I ended up losing one of the two characters you can lose. And I was really like, well, I can't go back and redo it. I've saved over this save. I didn't know I was on a friggin' time limit. But that's just kind of like a peering into like the end game stuff without actually explaining anything. You're building up like your own like army of rebels, and you get a base and you fill that base with people, and certain characters you recruit like help you make the base bigger or better, and then some of them are actual combatants and stuff like that. It's really cool. Suikoden 1. It's a really good RPG, really unique, well done. The sprite work is great. This is the PS1 version. I do not like the way the HD remake looks. I'll be upfront about that. I don't like the way it looks. It plays the same. It feels kind of the same, but it's not as good as the PS1 version, in my opinion. I really love that 80s anime art style that they do for this. It's really good. So Suikoden 1. It's a short RPG, too. It's actually not super long. It's probably like 30 hours.
Okay.
Is it really an RPG then?
Yeah, come on. Yeah, Suikoden or Suikoden.
Are you gonna segue now?
Am I gonna segue now? Right now, we're gonna segue into Final Fantasy
Uh,
Tactics. Like
Speaking of
probably
PlayStation 1 RPGs.
everybody's, probably everybody's first Tactics game, right? If you've ever played
this
it.
is. I messed up because I meant to say the Game Boy Advance one, whatever that one was called. So I guess I'll just have to keep this one.
It's called Final
Tactics
Fantasy
Advance.
Tactics Advance.
Yeah, I meant that one, but oh well.
That's okay. This has just got a remake announced. If you want to play it, I would definitely recommend playing the War of the Lions, the PSP version, or the new remake. They're gonna be good no matter what. The old PS1 version, at the end of the game, if you save it in the end game stuff, you are locked into the end game and you can't keep trying to like level up your characters and do quests and stuff. I believe there's questing in this one, or just monster. I think there's just map fights. There's quests in advanced, but yes, yeah. Rumors,
Is there a difference
there's
between
quests in this one? Yeah, oh yeah, quite a bit. This one has just people with classes. You can recruit monsters in this one. You can do it in the other one, but the other one is all the different races like the Mughals, Bengas, and whatnot. And in order to get new skills for your classes in the Game Boy Advanced one, you have to have certain items equipped to the character in order to learn the item over time. You get like SP points for it. And Final Fantasy IX did the same thing. Whereas in this one, you just access the ability, I believe. I don't think it's attached to the weapons in this one. I don't believe it was. It might be. It's been a while since I played Final Fantasy Tactics, now that I'm thinking about it. But each character levels up and goes through it. And you can get all these different classes based on which characters have leveled up so much into a specific class will unlock like the mathematician or the summoner or something like that. It's really fun. I like it. It's not like a super hard tactics game like Tactics Ogre. It's really like your entry into it's a really good entry into playing a tactics game, I think. If you ever want to get into any of them, you can kind of cheese the level up systems with the job points. That was it. You use the JP to level it to get your different skills, but I don't think you need to.
Okay.
I don't think you have to have certain items just to get them though, like in Tactics Advanced. So, yeah, there you go.
Cool.
Final.
Oh, that's it.
Fantasy.
Is it too late to change it to Tactics Advance?
It is too late to change it.
Too late.
My feelings.
Look, it's your own fault.
I know.
And let's see if
Spin the wheel.
let's see
If
if we
it
get it.
even gets in
If
there.
we get it. What are we getting?
And
Oh my God! It is
it's Tactics.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Look at that. Thanks,
I've got an excuse
Matt.
to bust out my PSP.
Here goes my want to play the pocket. That was why I picked it.
Aw,
'Cause I have
sorry,
the physical game.
Sorry. Hey, Final Fantasy Tactics. Awesome. Hey, it's a good game. I like it.
When does the remake come out, by the way? Is it in this quarter? Probably not.
Boy, I think the remake is supposed to come out really soon, isn't it? I can't remember.
September 30th.
Okay.
So yeah, not soon.
Literally the last day of the.
Yeah,
of the
last day of the
quarter.
quarter.
All right,
Sorry,
good to work, guys.
everybody. Final Fantasy Tactics. Very cool. All right. So 2 RPGs for these. But you know what's not an RPG and is also the third in a series of games that we've discussed at length today? Pikmin 3.
Pikmin 3.
This is the first game suggestion for our new category, which is awesome. The new Millennium category. Similar to the quarterly game, but we're going to be taking games from the Wii, Wii U, PSP, DS, 3DS, PS3, Xbox 360. PSP and PS
Wii U's
Vita.
really squeezing in here.
It's like the last one on the list, or the distance wise, right? The
Yeah.
longest outer one. The only reason I'm throwing it in is because it has such a small library of games that you can't play anywhere else, and I didn't really want to leave it out. I felt like the PS3 and 360 eras kind of were capped off with the Wii U kind of being in there too. So, Pikmin 3, Wii U game.
I love this one.
Was re-released on the Switch, so you can still play it.
Play the Wii U one.
Not locked behind the Wii U.
They don't got a Wii U.
I think the Wii U takes advantage of the touchscreen.
Yes.
So it does add a different element of gameplay style. This one, you are not collecting stuff to pay your bills, and you're not collecting a broken ship together. You are finding food because the people on your planet are starving. Unlike the people on planet Hokutate. This is a different planet of people, but they are like, I don't know, they're all starving, and nobody wants to move to a new planet, even though they could.
A lot of work, man.
So you got to find a lot of fruit.
Build a new society. So Pikmin 3. I'm gonna jump right over to Star Fox Zero. Then
two Star Foxes too.
Another game that's locked behind the Wii U library. So if you do not have a Wii U, you will not be able to play this one, unfortunately. This game is really bad.
Yeah.
You have to play with the Wii U gamepad and the gyro controls and the aiming. It's so hard. I've gotten to the end of this one myself, and I could never beat Andros. And I'll play through it. I'll do it. I'll play through it again and try and actually beat him. But man, is it tough. It's really hard to play. And then the special edition, it's super cheap. It's super duper cheap, Dasbrat. You can buy
a bipedal R.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh, they were asking about the bipedal R-Wing. I was going to say, that actually showed up in Star Fox 2 that was going to be released on the NES, but ended up being released on the Super NES Classic or whatever it's called.
Oh, nice. Okay, good to know. The because I think you still play as the tank in this one too. It lets you play as like all the different stuff. All the animal buddies like Donkey Kong.
Donkey King.
Yeah, and then the Wii U version came with like a mini game on the side. Star Fox.
Yeah.
Star Fox Guard.
Guard.
Right?
Okay, yes, that's it. I have not played that, so I'd probably play that along with this if I had the chance.
It doesn't look awful, but the gameplay.
The gameplay, that's the worst part. If it was not locked behind the Wii U gamepad, I would be way happier about it. But oh well. Something to be happy about though is Bioshock. I think this is a good option. I think this really puts a test.
Not very
like a good bow
happy
on.
of a story though.
Nah, but it's
Like, you're like, be happy.
Be happy.
Oh.
Bioshock's on this list. The great game, really really good game. And the thing I like about looking at this one is you can see its age based on the consoles that it's come out on, like the 360, PS3. Whereas some games like will be like way higher res, and you just be like, this doesn't feel like a classic style game. Now, because in my opinion, these consoles are becoming more classic, but they're still a ways away from getting to that point. Look at that guy shake. He's like, yeah, hit the girl. Oh no, run! the way the
Big Daddy
with the mouse. Yeah, what a unique and awesome monster. The Big Daddies, or just in general, these guys, they're so super cool.
So brutal.
That scene that we're watching right now is one I've really, really thought like made Bioshock for me. Like, be like, yeah, this is a great game. Also, how the whole camera shakes when he's walking is so cool. Bioshock.
Nice.
So I've never watched or played or done anything with Pandora's Tower, but know that it's from the Project Rainfall stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I know about it. I don't know anything else about it. Watching this kind of makes me think that you're supposed to target enemy weak points with a special ability or whatever this chain is that you have.
You got a sniper sword.
Hit the weak point to do massive damage, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Giant enemy plant.
Yeah. I think you have to buy this one outright, though. I don't think that's available anywhere else
I ripped that stuff out
besides the Wii, right? I don't think.
I think it's just on the
Pandora's
Wii. Yeah, it's
only
trapped.
on the Wii. Yeah. I
of them. We got a lot of trap
wonder.
titles.
I wonder if you can play this on emulator because I don't. I wonder if you need the Wii remotes.
Let's see if it's classic controller.
I don't. Oh yeah,
Compatible.
yeah.
If so, it should be.
Controller.
Yes, the game supports a classic controller, so we should be good.
Okay, good. So yeah.
And that should, I'm guessing that should run okay on Dolphin.
Well, if you can't buy it, that would be the best way to do it. If you don't feel like
It's pricey.
Is it? Well, how expensive is Pandora's Tower? Please tell me it's only like $80.
Like only
looks like
$80.
Complete. It looks like complete. It's like $71, so not
Okay.
the worst.
No, that's not terrible.
It's not cheap, but
No, just the price of a new game.
does anyone in the chat own this that they can vouch for it being worth that much or not?
I mean, who picked it?
Lance picked it. Lance Striker.
Looks interesting from the footage though.
Yeah.
Might be worth looking into.
Yeah, graphics remind me of Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
But you know what doesn't remind me of Twilight
That's what I
Princess?
should have put in there.
This freaking game.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. This is my pick.
Oh,
I want to play this game so bad, but I just
yes.
I just keep putting it aside, and I'm like, I got to. I've played almost every other Metal Gear game.
This one is such a departure from like the mainline Metal Gear games.
Yes, and they bill it almost in a way that makes it sound like there's supposed to be multiple ones in this franchise. I thought they were gonna like do more with it. I'm really excited to see this. Because this Raiden comes into play in Metal Gear 4, so I'm curious to see how this goes, or what this is like. I want to know what the frick they did to poor Raiden. I want to know how they turned him into this friggin' cyborg.
Well, they cut off his head and put him on a robot.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Don't say that. That's not right.
That's what happens when you run around naked.
Why you gotta...
You get your head cut off.
Well, I mean, now he's eternally naked, so there you go. He looks like such a badass, though. Boink! Oh, well, that was fast.
So they've
Where
got
the
this
frick
on
that come from?
PC. Are we thinking that we want to play it there or Xbox? Or PS3?
PS3. I have a PS3 version. You can still buy this game new and sealed for a PS3 for like $15.
Dang. Oh yeah, this thing's not expensive at all.
No, but if you want to play it, I would recommend playing it on PC just because it'll have faster load times.
And run better.
Okay.
It'll probably run better, yeah. Unless you want to have it for your collection, that's the best way I would recommend it. Yeah, interesting
Well,
combat.
dang.
I don't know. I'm curious what Kojima did with this, because I know that when they were showcasing the tech demo originally a long time ago, they were showing Raiden slowly cutting a watermelon apart, and it would show it in different size sections and all this stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So more polygons
I'm pretty
means
sure you
more
can-
work, but
I'm pretty sure you can do that with the enemies, basically.
yeah,
Yeah, it's cutting them up. Yeah.
That was
That man
sick.
is dead.
Stop. He's
like
already
attaching
dead.
attaching the sword to his feet and stuff. Yeah, this is a wild game.
That's awesome.
This is Platinum, right?
No, this is Konami.
Oh yeah, Konami published it, but Platinum's the developer.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks so much like a Platinum game.
Huh. All right.
Thought you were just kind of like referencing trophies. Like, oh, you got to platinum this game, but
Oh.
okay.
No, platinum
Yeah.
like Bayonetta.
You're required to platinum this game.
I haven't played Bayonetta. I wouldn't know.
So one unique title on this game is Odin Sphere
Where's our segue?
Leifthrasir. I left it
Oh.
parked out back. This game is so this is a updated remake of the PS2 version of Odin Sphere. And I don't know if they added anything particular about it or whatever, but they did change the whole quality of life stuff of this. This is an original by Vanillaware, the same people who did.
I was gonna say it looks like Vanillaware.
Yeah, Unicorn Overlord people.
It looked like that one sorcery game.
It's really good. It's really, really good. There's another game that came out somewhat after this called Grim Grimoire, which is also really good by Vanillaware. Same stuff, and they just re-released Grim Grimoire. Also PS2 original. So
Yeah, they did do it. The Dragon's Crown game.
yes, they made.
Oh, they
Dragon's
did
Crown.
Muramasa as well.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah. See now, yeah, you see the art. You're just like,
Yeah, I'm like,
I
that
know
looks like
this
Muramasa art.
somewhere. Yeah, and it's a Vanillaware. They're very
Okay.
they do the same stuff over and over again, art style wise.
Aw.
It's still good. It's great art.
It's pretty though. This looks a lot like Muramasa gameplay wise from just looking at it.
I can't remember what made this game super special, but like you were like going through like the tiers of like heaven and hell or something. I really don't
Dante's
remember.
Inferno?
So I know there's like a big almost kind of Final Fantasy X sphere grid esque thing in it that you have to complete or go through bit at a time.
I like that mini map thing it has going on at the top.
That is kind of
Do I see that they have a Vita version of that?
I don't know. I think Odin Sphere Leifthrasir Razir.
This is only PlayStation 2.
The
Sphere.
original
It
is on
says the-
PS2.
The remake is on 3, 4, and Vita.
Okay, 3, 4, and Vita.
Cool.
So there you go.
Ah, dang.
You can play it on PS4. Is it on Steam?
Does not look like it.
Okay.
I don't think they put any of their stuff on there because I really wanted to play that Dragon's Crown.
I might get this for the Vita if this gets picked, just because I want to do something else with my Vita.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Heck yeah. I think she's a Valkyrie, right? I believe she's a Valkyrie.
Giving Valkyrie essence.
Yeah. Ah, well. Speaking of the end of that. So Bioshock is on here 3 times. We have it seconded twice. Because people couldn't make up their minds, which is fine. I understand.
Hey.
Bioshock's a good game. You know.
I just realized I could have done Twilight Princess, but then again, I could have done that for Classic because it was GameCube. Because I think that is the best version to play.
Oh man, that's
Ooh.
a really good point. See, what
Yeah.
you could do, Matt, is you could put Twilight Princess on one and
On
Twilight
both.
Princess on the other one.
Double Twilight
Then-
Princess.
But then I would have to play the Wii version, which I think is inferior.
I think that would be hilarious if you put them on both. Because technically, according to our rules, you can't.
Oh,
wouldn't-
man, I should find more of these loophole games.
You should be a loophole player on this one. We'll wait till the next quarter. All right, everybody,
There you go,
ready?
Das brought even the Wii U version, so I could do all 3.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's true. All right, guys. No, they
Here
would
we
be in
go.
the same Millennium category. Here we go.
Let's go. Oh, finally, Pikmin. Not Pikmin.
Bioshock it
Bioshock.
is. Bioshock it is.
Hey, that's a good pick, though.
All
That's a good pick.
right, Awesome.
Like I wanted it to be like I do love BioShock and I am excited to play that again. I also second it,
Yeah.
but I feel like it was better for me just to see Pikmin lose again by how much it keeps losing.
That is too funny. But what Bioshock had an HD remake, and they just launched. That just came out, didn't it? The whole
That came out a long time ago.
Didn't they just do something else with Bioshock though recently?
I don't think so.
Was there a
Because,
collection
like-
or something?
There's a collection that came out in 2016.
Okay, so it's just the HD remakes, but yeah, We can play
This
it.
should be available basically anywhere
You
modern.
can play it anywhere.
Good Steam Deck game. Oh, it's also 75% off on Steam right now.
Hey, there you go,
Ooh,
guys.
there you go, guys.
All right, we can pick up Bioshock right away.
$10 on the Nintendo eShop right now.
As many times as I've started it, I've never beaten Bioshock, so this will be one I'm excited to go through. I bet my kids would like watching this. They love watching me play horror games, so. And
you can buy the
Bioshock's
Bioshock collection for $12 on Steam right now. That's
Ooh.
1, 2, and Infinite.
Gosh dang.
$10 on the Switch shop as well.
Pretty sure I have it. Wow, $10 on the Switch shop. Man, that might
For the
be
collection.
way to play it.
That's Infinite and 1 and 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and Infinite is so good.
And includes the remastered Bioshock.
Okay. Damn, guys.
Dang. Okay, I might have to get it. I might have to get it on the Switch and see how it runs on the Switch too.
Yeah, please report back. I might pick it up for PS5 if it's on sale on that. If it's not, I'm not gonna buy it on PS5.
I think I have it on PC already on Steam, but
I think the worst part about being a PlayStation owner is that PlayStation never has good sales.
I know my brother was talking about hoping that they do some sort of summer sale.
I wish they would just do a good sale, like, or just any sale that isn't just their. Anyways, I don't want to complain about it. Guys, just to bring this in to focus, this is our 1 year anniversary of the O.V.G.C.
We're still here.
We are still here and kicking it off with a third game option to start. So happy 1 year anniversary, everybody. Thank you everybody that's been here since the start. Thank you everybody that has joined along the way, and anybody that's come in yesterday or whenever. It is awesome that you're all here. Even if it's just like
awesome,
two
Zane
people. Aw, thank you. You guys are awesome. I'm really glad you guys are doing this with me. I'm glad that everybody else is really enjoying the club. I'm glad that we're having a lot of fun, and there's a lot of awesome conversation. People are making friends. This has been.
And we never picked Pikmin.
A beautiful boon to me. I'm going to ignore that. And this club has been one of the best things. I feel like for me, emotionally, like 2025 has been really, really hard for me. I've had a lot of shit happen this year that has not been good for my own mental state. But being able to have a community to come back to regularly and play games and share those experiences with has been something that I felt like I was lacking, like in almost like the last decade or so. So I'm really glad that you guys are all here. And let's do it again for another year. I'm really excited. I hope we can make more friends along the way, and I hope more people join us. Please invite your friends, invite more people. Go out of your way and be like, hey, there's this really fun game club that we're a part of. You don't have to participate, but we'd like it if you were there, just to see if you're interested, and then maybe you'll want to make a suggestion at one point, so.
Are you ready for this bring back to Pikmin? The more people here, the more chances for Pikmin.
That's right. More Pikmin options.
We need to just recruit Pikmin fans.
We just need. The full board one of these days is going to be all Pikmin, and Pikmin 2 because that's me. And Pikmin 2 gets picked.
Yes.
I would die.
When are we supposed to do podcasts if you're dead, St. John? How am I supposed to play Pikmin 2?
I don't know. I'm gonna go over the chat in a little bit when we close out here. But thank you everybody. This has been the O.V.G.C podcast, episode 13. I'm Zane. That's Jeff. This is Matt, and I hope you have a good night.
Good night.